Now, in the end, I'll read a very, very touching prayer of Ahmad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which when you read it quietly alone, your heart bleeds for the suffering of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is just one incident when a window is opened into his heart through his prayer, and you see what passed in his heart, in his mind, when he was ill-treated by the enemies. That is the time when Abd Yalil bin Abd Kulal, the leader of Taif, ordered the hooligans of Taif to follow Ahmad in a procession of boys, old and young, pelting stones at him and abusing him and dishonoring him in the worst possible way. So he left Taif in a state while he was bleeding from top to foot. His shoes were filled with his own blood, so that they become very slippery. It was difficult for him to walk in the shoes which he was wearing. So he went outside Taif, about 3 miles. He kept walking along with one servant of his, and sat for a while under the shadow, outside, I think, the boundary, under the shadow of the garden of Utbah bin Rabi'a. There archangel was sent to him by God to deliver the message that God has seen your suffering, and he's very angry with those who caused this suffering to you. So God has ordered the angels who control the phenomenon of mountains to be at your bidding. If you want this Taif to be destroyed, the angels who control the forces of mountains would cause such upheaval here that the mountains would collapse on each other, and the Basti, this township of Taif, would be wiped out from the face of earth forever. In answer to this, Ahmad said, "No, I'm not for destroying people. I've come to revive mankind. But I'm suffering immensely. This is true." So what he said was, "Allahumma ilayka ashku dhofa quwwati wa qillata hilati wa hawani ala nas ya arhamar rahimin ila man takaluni ila adumi yatajahamuni am ila qaribim malakatho amri illam takun sakhitan alayya fala ubali ghayra anna afiyataka awsawli a'udhu bi nur wajhikal kareem allazi adwa'at lahu as-samawati wal ard wa ashraqat lahu adh-dhulumat wa salaha alayhi amru ad-dunya wal akhirah an tuhilla alayya ghadabaka aw tunzil alayya sakhataka walakal utba hatta tardua wala hawla wala quwwata illa bik." O my Lord, I complain to you of my total helplessness, being totally powerless, without any means. And I complain to you of my being totally unable to do anything against my enemies, against those who have overpowered me. Oh, merciful being, who is most merciful of all those who are merciful to anyone, are you relegating me to my enemies? Have you decided this? that you will hand over me to my enemies? Or are you going to hand me over to some of my relatives that do whatever you please with him? And you know all the relatives were also, most of them were enemies. But if you are not angry with me and you have decided all this, this is my fate, provided you are not angry with me, I am also ready for all this. Do whatever you may please. Hand me over to my worst enemies, to anyone. But I look only for your pleasure. If you are not angry, then everything is acceptable to me. Then there is no complaint. But what I am afraid of is your anger, your displeasure. This should not happen out of displeasure. But at the same time, now what a beautiful prayer. He said, there is no doubt about it that as long as you are not angry with me, I'll accept everything you have destined for me to be. Even the worst fate, worst treatment that can be meted out to any man. But I turn to you and I pray and beg of you to save me from this, to keep me under your own protection, and don't relegate me to all this. Although I am ready, but I want otherwise. He said, O Lord of the light, in the name of your brilliant face, which enlightens the entire universe, the heavens and the earth alike, and all darkness is turned into brilliance and light. I, in the name of your face, which is responsible for the whole universe and its running, its machinery, its working, what I seek you in this name, only your forgiveness, only your favor, that you never be angry with me. That's the ultimate I ask of you. Of course, you have every right to punish me and anyone else. Punish me, but not with anger, please. For trial maybe, but never with displeasure. If I don't have you, I have nothing. Without you, there is nothing left in me, nothing left for me. So this is the prayer which the Jamaat should beg of Allah for all the suffering Ahmadis in the world and for all the suffering humanity at the hands of perpetrators of crime and cruelty. And the ultimate is this prayer of Allah. Remember this. Beg for whatever you may, but also continue to remind yourself and add this into your prayer that Allah, we want the best of you. But if worst must come, it must come with your pleasure, or it will be unbearable for us. So with these last words of Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, let's join hands in praying for all those. Yes. Those who have fulfilled their promises of Tariq-e-Jadid and Waqf-e-Jadid, the number of such countries is increasing who are joining the list. So already the names have been announced, so let's keep them in mind as well, please.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin wa sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin wa barik ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Ameen.